Hello, Julie Bartkkus here. Been transforming workplaces for more than 20 years. And today I want to talk about some of the hardest words, but yet the most important words as a leader to be able to speak. And these words that I'm talking about are the words, "You're fired." It's not going to work out. You are no longer employed here. These can be some of the toughest words that we have to speak as a leader. And I currently have clients who are maneuvering through some difficult situations where they have to let some incredibly trusted people go. How do we do this? How do we do this effectively? How do we do it in a way that really honors, the relationship that we've had and helps us feel better about it in our heart? And I think that's a big thing, that when we let go of somebody, when we have to fire somebody, it feels not that good inside of yourself. So I want to bring to mind just a few things today that might help you navigate if this is something that you're currently facing. The first thing is that when you have to let somebody go, remember that your role as a leader is to grow your staff. That is priority number one. It is to grow your people. And sometimes people aren't going to grow under your leadership, and you have to be okay with that. And you have to let them go so they can grow. But the challenge is, well, how do I then let go of them? Because my heart was invested in this person, and maybe even more than your heart was invested in this person, but you had created your vision around this person being a part of it, perhaps. So one of the things that I recommend to the leaders that I work with is to really look at the situation and think about how amazing you want this person's life to be. And keep your focus on the fact that if you let go and they go somewhere else, that might be either the wake-up call or the leadership that they need in order to grow so that they could get to the next level. So I really encourage you to not think about the relationship deteriorating. Think about it as you being more on top of your mission and your vision, which is to grow your people. And like I said, sometimes people won't grow under our leadership, and we have to let go and watch them flourish underneath somebody else's. Or they need to take a little bit of a break and rethink about what's really important to them, and then they show up differently because of the action that you took. So that's really important to think about with firing, is how do we let go so they grow? Now, the other thing you might want to think about is really in your mind, cultivating a vision for this person and their life. And sometimes this can even manifest in terms of a letter that you write to the person that you never mail, but you say, I want your life to be incredibly blessed. I want you to make the most out of your life that you possibly can. And in order to do this, I know that I must release you. I must let you go. And this is a little bit more of a spiritual perspective on the situation, but you could easily cultivate this letter with your feelings in it about what you really want. Too often our focus will switch to what they didn't do, what we don't want. And there's going to be something that we do with the what we don't want. But you really want to stay in a state of attraction so that you can attract more people to you than ever before. And this can happen easily, but when you say, I want you to grow, you're not growing here, I release you. You get out a pen and paper, you write a letter, you say, here's my vision for your life. Here's what I hope your life is filled with. Here's the blessings I want for you. And then you let it go. You're in a better state. But this is not easy, and this is one of the top mistakes that many leaders wish they didn't make, was hanging on to the wrong people for too long. And if you've got the wrong people in place, you've really got to take a look at that and say, all right, it's going to be time to let some people go so they can grow, and so that I could step deeper into the vision that I want to cultivate, the vision that I want to bring to life, the vision that's so incredibly important to me. Also, when it comes to firing, if there's people who you're wondering right now, is it going to work out? Isn't it going to work out? You've got to start the process of having one-on-one meetings with these people. And you have to give them opportunity to grow. And this also protects you too legally, where you're going to be documenting what it is that you would like to see them do more of or differently in the workplace. So you want to be writing those things down so that you're giving them the opportunity to grow. Because firing, if we do it right, is never something that we're doing to people. It's more something that we're doing for people, for their growth, but it also can come down to something when we really cultivate it the right way, where it becomes their choice. Meaning we set the expectation, we have a conversation, we have a follow-up conversation. They didn't follow through on the thing that we needed to do, or the smiles that they need to be bringing into the workplace, whatever it might be. And we decide, hey, you chose not to follow through on this. But up front, when you're having these one-on-one conversations, you're letting them know what the consequences. You're letting them know that you really want to inspire them to be a valued team member. But here's what you're seeing in the workplace. And here's what they need to be doing more of or differently. And if they don't do that, then here's what the consequence is going to be. And that's really critically important. But all throughout this, like I said, you really want to stay in the state where you're in the driver's seat, and people are going to make decisions about whether they're going to level up their performance or not. So remember, think about releasing people sooner than later, right? Even mentally, but also giving them the opportunity for termination to be their choice. And we have numerous leaders that we work with that say, you know what, Julie, I was going to have that tough conversation, but instead I leveled up the expectations, communicated those with them, the person fell short, and they left. They self-selected out. They said, you know what, I'm not up for doing this. I'm not up for the standards that you have. So people will self-select out, which I think can be one of the most beautiful things that there is, because then you don't have to speak the words, you're fired, or say you no longer have a job, you're no longer a valued team member. They say, your expectations are high and I'm not meeting them and I feel bad. I feel that people in their heart of hearts want to feel positive and productive coming into the workplace. And if they start feeling where they're letting themselves down, they're letting you down, they're going to say, oh, this isn't working for me. And we have to set the environment so that people don't hang on in that state forever. That's part of them hanging on for too long. So really create a vision for how you want your people's lives to be, even if it's beyond your leadership. And you have to let go of resentments, let go of past feelings. Think about two things here that's going to help you out. Think about the lessons you learned. Whenever somebody is in your life, you learn a lesson. And after I became widowed in 2012 and I started dating, I remember if there was somebody who I really liked and then they broke up with me, I'd be like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me. And I really had to take a deep look at this and go, you know what? There's nothing wrong with you. It just didn't work out. So I started thinking to myself, okay, well, what can I be grateful for in this situation, right? Because that gratitude put me into a state of, I'm thankful that this person was in my life because here's what I learned. So with every employee who comes through your doors, you have the opportunity to learn a lesson. And this is true with every relationship in your life, is that you can learn a lesson. So that's number one. And there's a second really powerful thing that you need to keep in mind when it's not working out. But think about the lessons that you learned with the people who you've had the opportunity to lead, or the people in your life where you just need to release them. And maybe you've got angry feelings or hurt feelings. Switch to a place of gratitude and say, I'm so thankful this person was in my life because, and then create your list. The other part of this is that whenever there is somebody that's not working out and you have to speak those words, you're fired, or you have to put that in paper, make sure that you're reflecting on your interview questions, because this is an amazing opportunity to improve those interview questions so that you attract higher level of energies to come and work for you. So you attract better people with more amazing attitudes who will come and work for you. So look at your interview questions when somebody leaves and say, all right, what is a question that I can ask that's going to help me rule the people who do not work out in working for me? It's going to help me rule them out. So really reflect on that. And I really hope that this segment has helped you. And if it has, please leave me a comment and let me know. But I've been transforming workplaces for over 20 years. And I have helped leaders navigate through some incredibly difficult situations, from where staff are turning over and leaving to where we've got the team of our dreams in place and we're being voted the best place to work in our community. It can happen. But remember, "you were fired" are two hard words, but I really hope this segment will help you navigate successfully through it so that you stay in a state of attraction, and when somebody leaves, the fear is gone, because you know what? You know in your heart of hearts that you always, always attract amazing people. I'm Julie Bartkkus. I will see you on our next episode. I've been transforming workplaces for over 20 years. And like I said, I hope this has added some value to your day and gives you some peace in your heart when you have to say those impactful words. "You're fired." See you soon.